There was always something strange about the room whenever Tan Songyun appeared. It did not matter whether it was a crowded stage filled with flashing cameras, a backstage corridor buzzing with staff, or a formal event where every celebrity was expected to remain perfectly composed. The atmosphere seemed to shift in ways most people never noticed. And at the center of that shift was one recurring mystery that fans could not stop talking about. Soo Kai. For years, countless clips, photographs, and fleeting moments have circulated across fan communities worldwide. At first glance, they appeared ordinary. A glance, a smile, a slight adjustment in posture. Nothing dramatic enough to make headlines. Yet when those moments were placed side by side, a curious pattern began to emerge. Every time Tan Songyun appeared, Soo Kai seemed to do something different. The change was subtle enough to escape casual viewers, but impossible to ignore for those who watched closely. And once fans noticed it, they could never unsee it. One of the earliest observations came from a public event where dozens of celebrities occupied the same space. Soo Kai appeared relaxed and composed, chatting naturally with those around him. His expressions were calm, almost routine. Then something happened. Tan Songyun entered the area. What followed lasted only seconds, but those few seconds became the subject of endless discussion. Soo Kai's posture shifted. His shoulders straightened. His attention, which had been casually moving around the room moments earlier, suddenly became focused. Some fans described it as awareness. Others called it anticipation. But everyone seemed to agree on one thing. Something changed. Body language experts often say that people reveal their genuine emotions not through words, but through unconscious reactions. And that was exactly what fascinated observers. Because whenever Tan Songyun appeared nearby, Soo Kai seemed to become more alert. Not nervous, not uncomfortable, simply aware, as though his mind had instantly registered her presence before anyone else noticed. The mystery deepened when fans began comparing footage from different events. Again and again, similar patterns emerged. There would be a crowd. There would be noise. There would be cameras everywhere. And then Tan Songyun would appear. Almost immediately, Soo Kai's eyes would move in her direction. Not always directly. Sometimes it was just a brief glance. Other times it was a quick double take. A split-second reaction. A look so fast that many viewers missed it entirely during the first viewing. But when slowed down frame by frame, those moments became impossible to ignore. The most intriguing part was not that he looked. It was how he looked. There was a softness that seemed to appear unexpectedly. The confident public image audiences knew so well would momentarily fade. In its place came something quieter, something more personal. His facial expressions appeared less guarded. His smile often arrived more naturally. His eyes seemed brighter. These details may sound insignificant on their own, but when repeated across multiple appearances, they created a story that fans could not stop analyzing. And that story only became more compelling over time. Then came the interviews. Interviews are often where celebrities reveal the most without realizing it. Words can be rehearsed. Answers can be prepared. But reactions? Those are much harder to control. Several fan compilations highlighted moments when Tan Songyun's name surfaced unexpectedly during conversations. The reaction was almost always immediate. Soo Kai's expression would change before he even spoke. Sometimes a smile appeared. Sometimes there was a brief pause. Sometimes his tone seemed noticeably warmer. The shift was subtle, yet unmistakable. Viewers began asking the same question. Why did his reactions feel different? No one had a definitive answer, but speculation spread rapidly. Across social media platforms from Asia to Europe and North America, fans exchanged theories and observations. Some believed it was simple friendship. Others felt there was a deeper emotional connection hidden beneath the surface. Many pointed out that genuine affection often reveals itself through the smallest details, not grand gestures, not dramatic declarations, just tiny moments that happen naturally, moments that cannot be scripted, moments that occur before a person has time to think. That idea led fans to revisit older footage, and what they discovered only fueled further curiosity. In one clip, Soo Kai appeared distracted while listening to someone speak. The moment Tan Songyun entered the conversation, his attention seemed to sharpen instantly. In another, He appeared serious and focused until she laughed. Almost immediately, a smile crossed his face. The timing was remarkable. Coincidence? Perhaps. But fans were no longer looking at isolated moments. They were looking at a pattern. Patterns tell stories. And this particular story seemed to be unfolding right before their eyes. What made the mystery even more fascinating was the contrast between their personalities. Tan Songyun has long been admired for her warmth, humility, and effortless charm. Her presence often brings a sense of comfort to those around her. Soo Kai, meanwhile, is known for his charisma, confidence, and strong screen presence. Together, the time Tan Songyun appeared, was it admiration, respect, friendship, something deeper? Or were audiences witnessing something that even the people involved had never openly acknowledged? The truth remains hidden behind carefully guarded public images and fleeting moments captured by cameras. But sometimes the most compelling stories are not the ones that provide answers. They are the ones that leave behind clues. And with every archived video, every forgotten photograph, and every overlooked interaction, fans continue uncovering new pieces of a puzzle that refuses to be solved. Because the more closely people watch Soo Kai whenever Tan Songyun appears, the more they notice the posture, the eyes, the smile, the silence. And just when it feels like the mystery is finally about to reveal itself, another unexplained moment emerges from the shadows, leaving everyone wondering whether the biggest clue has been hiding in plain sight all along. But then fans discovered something even more difficult to explain. It wasn't the moments when Soo Kai looked at Tan Songyun that captured attention anymore. It was the moments when he deliberately seemed to avoid looking at her. At first, that observation sounded absurd. Why would avoiding someone become evidence of anything? Yet the more people analyzed old footage, the more fascinating the pattern became. In several public appearances, cameras captured Soo Kai standing only a short distance away from Tan Songyun. Anyone expecting obvious interaction would have been disappointed. There were no dramatic greetings, no highly publicized exchanges, no headlines waiting to happen. Instead, there was distance, a carefully maintained distance. And somehow, that distance raised even more questions than closeness ever could. One particular clip sent fan communities into a frenzy. The venue was crowded. Reporters moved through the room. Flashing cameras illuminated every corner. Celebrities mingled naturally, while staff members rushed between schedules. Tan Songyun was speaking with several people nearby. Soo Kai stood only a few steps away, close enough to notice, close enough to hear. Yet he never turned toward her, not once. At least that was what viewers initially believed. Then someone slowed the footage down, frame by frame, second by second, and suddenly everything changed. For less than a heartbeat, his eyes shifted. Just once. A quick glance. So brief it almost disappeared. Yet, what stunned fans wasn't the glance itself. It was what happened immediately afterward. Soo Kai looked away. Fast. Almost too fast. As though he had caught himself doing something he never intended anyone to see. The reaction ignited endless discussions. Some called it coincidence. Others saw something entirely different. Because human beings often hide what matters most. And the harder they try to conceal something, the more noticeable it becomes. That theory gained momentum after another resurfaced clip began circulating online. The setting was completely different. The atmosphere was lighter. Laughter filled the room. People were relaxed. Then Tan Songyun laughed. It wasn't directed at Soo Kai. She wasn't even speaking to him. Yet cameras happened to capture his reaction. The smile appeared instantly. Natural, unplanned, almost unconscious. What fascinated viewers was how quickly it vanished once he realized cameras were nearby. The expression lasted only seconds. But for those seconds, the confident actor audiences knew seemed to disappear completely. What remained was something startlingly genuine, something human, something vulnerable. Fans became obsessed with analyzing these tiny fragments of behavior, not because they proved anything, but because they felt impossible to fake. And perhaps that was what made the mystery so addictive. Every new discovery seemed to create even more questions. Then came the event that many fans still describe as one of the most revealing moments ever captured. It happened during a gathering where numerous celebrities shared the stage. The cameras weren't focused on Sukai. In fact, he wasn't the center of attention at all. That unexpected detail made what happened next even more significant, because genuine reactions often emerge when people think no one is watching. As applause echoed through the venue, Tan Songyun stepped forward. For a brief moment, cameras captured Sukai's face. The change was immediate. His expression softened. The usual confidence remained, but something else appeared beneath it. Pride, admiration, perhaps even something deeper. The look lasted only a few seconds. Yet those seconds became unforgettable, not because they confirmed any theory, but because emotions have a language of their own. And sometimes that language speaks louder than words ever could. Years have passed since many of these moments first occurred. Projects have come and gone. Headlines have changed. New stars have emerged. Yet this particular mystery refuses to disappear. Because every time fans think they have reached a conclusion, another forgotten clip surfaces. Another photograph appears. Another expression is analyzed. Another unexplained reaction enters the conversation. And with each discovery, the puzzle grows larger, more complicated, more intriguing, more impossible to ignore. Perhaps the truth is far simpler than anyone imagines. Or perhaps the most important chapter of the story has never been revealed. Because hidden within thousands of hours of footage, countless public appearances, and moments that lasted less than a second, there may still be one clue that changes everything. One look, one reaction, one undeniable moment. And if that moment truly exists, fans may be closer than ever to finding it. But the biggest revelation might still be waiting in the shadows. What do you think Sukai was really trying to hide every time Tan Songyun appeared? Was it admiration, friendship, or something far deeper that cameras accidentally captured? Share your theories, your observations, and the hidden moments you noticed, because in the next part, we'll uncover one of the most talked about interactions that left fans completely speechless. And it may change the way you see every previous moment forever.